Welcome, guys, to the RB Talks episode number 3. Today, we're going to be talking about decision making, and I have the best person for the subject, for the topic, my team leader, Juan Cruz. Juan Cruz, thank you so much for being over here, man.
Thank you, bro.
I really appreciate you. Juan is currently the team leader of the Lions team here at Azing Associates here in Phoenix, Arizona. Juan, thank you so much for being here, man.
Thank you, Ramiro, for the invite. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, guys, today we're going to be talking about an amazing subject and topic that I feel that has influenced my life as well as Juan's life, and that is decision making. Juan, you want to talk a little bit about yourself, maybe a little bit about your background?
Yeah, of course. So, well, as you previously mentioned, my name is Juan Cruz, and I come from Mexico, but I've been here, most of my life. And I started in the, I always been, prior to real estate, I'd always been in the food industry. I was there for over 20 years, so my family, so was my family, my brothers and everybody. So obviously that's where we come from, so that's what you get used to do all the time. So, later down the road, after my 30s, I ended up coming across real estate. And we decided to change directions, Little did I know, it was going to have a big impact on so many people. My family included. I have a couple of family members working with us.
Amazing,
I retired my parents, bought the car of my, the car of my dreams. I'm helping a lot of people, grow their business. And I'm just happy, man. I'm happy for the opportunity that life has given me. And I'm just happy to be blessed, you know what I mean?
Man, that's amazing. And one of the people that has influenced a life has been me. You totally 100% have influenced my life. I was working at a restaurant too as well, and I feel like that's where we emphasize, or that's where we connect a lot, is that we both come from the restaurant industry, right? I was first a line cook, I was a dishwasher, I was a server assistant, a food runner. I believe you were in the kitchen as well, in the restaurant too as well. You became a manager and you opened as well a restaurant, I believe, right?
Yep, exactly. Yep.
How was that experience of becoming from maybe an employee to now becoming an owner of a restaurant or a business? How was that transition?
It was, we knew we had it, just because of everything that we did prior to starting the first business that we had, which was, like you said, a restaurant business. But we went through all of the trades, right? We knew how to bus tables, take orders, prep food, cook it. You name it, bro. You know what I mean? Everything starting from opening the door all the way to closing the kitchen. We knew it all. We were assistant managers. We knew how to communicate with people. We knew how to direct people. And it was just a matter of time before it was happening. I remember when I got terminated from my job, I came to my church and I told my pastor, I was like, hey, I got terminated. And he was like, I was like, hey, I came for some encouragement. I'm here for you to lift me up, because he was my pastor, my leader. And he started laughing, bro.
No way.
You know what I mean?
He started laughing.
He started laughing.
Wow.
And he started laughing and smiling. And I was like, man, what are you? What's
going on, right?
What are you doing? I was in this particular place for over 7 years. So it was a big deal, and I was into management.
Wow.
So it was, you know what I mean? It was kind of like a big deal for me. But he was like, hey man, ever since I met you, Lalo and Mario, I knew there was something big coming, and you guys got to do it on your own. That's what I see. You guys are gonna make it. It's just a matter of, do you believe it? I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know, but I guess, if I'm ready, if that's, when the time comes, and if I think everything happens for a reason. And I shared that those thoughts and that experience with my parents, and we just embraced the vision of having our own business, and that's how actually we started to start looking for our own building, our own business.
Gotcha. So it was that leap of faith of you getting fired into like, okay, what am I going to do next? And that was going into the restaurant industry and becoming a business owner.
Exactly.
Wow, man. Wow, that's insane. That's incredible. And I actually wanted to emphasize and touch a point too of faith, right? How big is faith actually for you in your business and in your personal life? Do you bring a lot of God into your business? How faith plays a role in your business and your life?
In my personal opinion, Ramiro, faith is everything. You're not going to be able to conquer anything with faith. The reason why I'm able to take on any storm that comes my way, on any challenge that comes to my life, is because I know that I'm standing on a mission that comes from God.
Gotcha.
I believe that I'm working towards a purpose as opposed to just making money. And when you approach life with that consciousness, everything starts, you coming up together.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it looks like it's falling apart, but at the end of the day, I know that I have a calling. I know that God called me to do what I'm doing right now. So that empowers me
100%.
to keep going, bro, regardless of the situation, regardless of what happened, who's there, who's not. I know that I'm made for a call.
Yeah.
And so faith to me, it's the standpoint, you know what I mean? It's where I'm standing right now. It's where my business stands right now.
Wow, man, that's absolutely amazing. And I would agree with you 100% too. Like being inside the business industry, like you're gonna go through ups and downs, right? You're gonna go through ups and downs. I mean, a great example was maybe when you were getting fired, that pivotal moment in your life of like, dang man, like where do I go through now? And going maybe to church, maybe going to your pastor, going to your priest, and seeing and getting their advice from them, and then God has a plan for everybody. I've seen that, and I've reflected that on my life. I'm 22. I'm still learning every day. I'm learning from you, from great mentors, and just seeing how God plays a huge role in life is absolutely amazing, man. And that's something that I want to go into as well, mentorship, because we have mentors in different parts of our life. Maybe a pastor can be a great mentor, spiritual life, correct? How is mentorship played in your life as well as a business owner, Juan?
I mean, it's huge. It's huge because once you see someone ahead of you, someone that has accomplished what you're trying to accomplish, that it's possible.
Yeah.
I think we can only know so much. We can only figure out so much. But I mean, there is one thing that life is going to give you that you're not going to get from any book or from any advice.
Yeah.
And that is experience. You know what I'm saying? These people already have the experience. These people that are, producing at the highest levels, whether it's faith, whether it's money, whether it's even like things like family, creating a family, having kids, being with your wife for, X times, years.
Yeah.
That takes sacrifices,
100%.
That takes effort, that takes love, that takes changing your character.
Yeah.
These people has already accomplished that, and I look up to people. I look up to marriages. Once I see people, hey, we've been together for 20 years. That's a big accomplishment.
That's amazing.
That's a big accomplishment. I've been running my business for 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
That's a massive accomplishment. I mean, only I would know. You know what I mean? How hard it is to be in business for 5, 10 years, and I mean the sacrifices that you have to make. But at the end of the day, like if you can get closer to someone that is doing it at a way higher level, basically what happens is that you're gonna expedite the process. It's not any more trial and error, but it's more like, hey, you're paying for someone to make it easier for you. And if you can scale, 5 times faster, I mean, why not, right?
100%. I totally agree with that. And the way that I see it is that a person without a mentor is going through trial and error. You have to go through hurdles. You have to go through problems. You have to go through that. Compared to a mentor, I mean, maybe you are going to go through that, right? But instead of you having to suffer that, you get to actually jump all the hurdle and be like, hey, man, a mentor, right, can be like, hey, I went through this. I don't want you to go through the same problems that I went through, so go through this path instead, and that's been an amazing thing for me. I mean, here at Lions with you guys, I mean, the experience that I've gone through in just a year, it's been around a year, 2 months with you guys. I feel like I've been in the industry for around 5 years, and that reflects from the mentorship that we have here at Lions. I mean, man, going through talking with Eduardo, who's another great person with us at Lions, who does fix and flips, with you, all the experiences, negotiation, sales, it really reflects, so finding the right mentor and the right people behind you that's willing to guide you and is happy for it, I think it's absolutely crucial, man. Something that I really wanted to emphasize too as well and talk about a little bit is about speed, right? I've heard of a lot of millionaires, a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs talk about how speed plays a crucial role in decision making as well, right, Juan? What do you think about speed? What do you think? Do you think that's something that us as entrepreneurs have to take and have in mind? What's your take around speed? Yeah,
well, you got to think about people like, for example, I was watching a video from the Sun's owner, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about a multi-millionaire, possibly a billionaire. And that, one of the biggest traits that he can, that he doesn't let go, that he's consistently, focused on is just the speed when it comes to responses.
Gotcha.
For the clients, for your family, for success, for whatever you're trying to implement in your life. I think speed it's everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even right now, I think I have a pretty decent life. I mean, I live in a place where I'm pretty comfortable because that's where I want to be after a long day from work, right? Like I said, I got the car that I ever wanted. But even up until that level, I still get to my clients as soon as possible, regardless. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if it's the first time buyer, if it's a long-term investor, if it's someone that unfortunately couldn't qualify for much. We're trying to get to that client as soon as possible. And the same goes out to my team, Like every time I have an idea, I try to get to it as soon as possible. I try to come up with a solution. You know what I mean? I don't like be going around and thinking about the problem. If I already know there is a solution, I try to get to it as soon as possible, because then again, I don't want to, continue to be going around in circles.
Yeah.
It's not going to take me anywhere. I would rather just get it done. And I know Jeff Bezos spoke about this. He said something about stress comes from the things that you don't want to do.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So in reality, if you think about it, like the things that are stressing us right now are things that we're putting apart. Like, hey, I don't really want to do it. Maybe not right now. I'm a little too tired. I don't want to call the client. I don't want to fix that leak.
Yeah.
I don't want to take care of that. And that's what's causing us stress.
Yeah.
So how the way you can accomplish a big goal without having that much stress is by getting things done.
Gotcha.
And getting it done as soon as possible, and then that way you can focus on other things and just continue to grow.
No, man, I mean, I totally agree. I mean, we can see it on top entrepreneurs, top business owners. I mean, people, when they come up with an idea, they execute immediately, A great example I've seen is from you as well, Juan. Whenever we found a solution, we're going through negotiations, and we find a way that we can make it happen, we want to make it as soon as possible. We want to make it immediately, right? And man, I mean, decisions like this is what is going to play a huge role into playing into your life too as well. If you're that person that you're hesitant into jumping into another career, right? If you're someone that wants to take that leap of faith into your business, but you're still maybe hesitating, you're like, hey man, maybe it's not that time, maybe I need to wait a little bit more. Honestly, why not go right now? It's never going to be the perfect time. It's never going to be the perfect situation for you to say like, hey man, I think I have all the resources to do it now. Man, a great example was with me with Lions. I remember you telling me once, hey Ramiro, if you really want to succeed in this business in real estate, you have to take that leap of faith of leaving your job and going all into real estate. And honestly, that was a very big moment for me. It was a very pivotal moment. I remember that I was like, you know what, after I closed my first deal in real estate, I'm going to go all in. And I only had $5,000 in my bank account. And I remember that I trusted myself. I had to trust in my team. I had to trust in my membership and mentorship, which was you. And man, now we're here. We're closing transactions. We just came from a closing right now, which is absolutely amazing. We're super blessed. And environment shapes the decisions that you make, Juan. Ever since I started being here in the Lions Real Estate Group, being around AZ and Associates, being with AZ Araujo, being around you, I feel like the decisions that I'm making now in life really reflect now where I'm standing. A great example is this high rise. I remember Juan was telling me, hey man, you're getting comfortable where you at. You're getting comfortable. The rent where you're taking is very low. Like if you want to be a top producer, you have to get uncomfortable. So we're here in the high rise now today, and I want to talk to you about how does environment shape your business and your life too as well. A great example, I remember you were telling me before, right? More in the past, maybe you weren't surrounded by the correct people. You weren't surrounded maybe by the great mental frame or mentality from where you at now, because I imagine you have mentors as well. Does environment shape the decisions that you make and your life too as well?
Yeah, 110%, right? I'm pretty sure you have seen that picture of that Ferrari that is sitting in a garage and it's all dusted.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
100%.
It's dusted. It looks like it's not going to work. It's not going to run. But at the end of the day, it never stops being a Ferrari.
Yeah.
And the same goes out to like a $100 bill.
100%.
You know what I mean? If you have it on the floor, you know what I mean? You grab it in your hands and you throw it away. I mean, it looks that way, or the environment looks like it does, maybe he's on a trash can.
Yep.
The bill is on a trash can, but I mean, it still has value. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just has to be surrounded by the right environment. So the environment is everything, bro. I mean, I think this is the reason why I'm always trying to create a great culture within the team.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I understand that if I can elevate the culture, people is gonna come with us. You know what I mean? So that's my goal always. I try to elevate every single one of you.
Yeah.
Like I can give you another example. Every time we go traveling, because we've been traveling to Miami.
Yeah.
And we've been traveling to California.
Yeah.
Right. And on those two places, we ended up getting really high-end houses and high rises.
Yep.
And the reason why I did that is because I want you guys to feel uncomfortable when you guys come back home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want you to ever go, I didn't get out from Motel 6,
Yeah.
Motel 8,
Yeah.
you know, just to make myself feel good
Yeah.
back then. But now, you know, if I go to a Motel 6, and there's nothing wrong with that if that's everything you can afford for now.
Yeah.
But as for me, I'm just not going to feel comfortable. You know what I mean? And
100%.
the moment you start stepping down from the type of life that you have,
Yeah.
you're just not going to feel comfortable anymore.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I want to do. I want to make sure you guys elevate and you guys see that it is possible. The first time I stepped into a high rise, you know, I figured in my own being, like I was like, this is possible. I don't know when. You know, I never, and I honestly, my mind was so close and so small that I never even thought about it. And there is, you know, we have a bunch of agents now that are moving into high rises, you know, whether they're coming with me, in contact with me directly or indirectly. Well, I think we're influencing a lot of people.
I agree.
So why? Because of the environment that they're in, you know what I mean? So that's my goal, man. I really wanna emphasize on that. That's kind of a big deal on the team.
Yeah.
And we're gonna continue to do it, man.
Yeah.
Until we're done here, you know.
Yeah.
Always.
No, 100%, man. And like I said, I got this high rise thanks to the one and only Juan. Honestly, he was the one who pushed me to get into a place that I would get uncomfortable. And man, today it's been one of the best decisions. The people that we're surrounded by, the environment, like I said, is crucial. The decisions that you make, you know, the money that you start making, and I actually touched this point last episode, on episode number 2, about your inner circle and your new normal. I really like this term of your new normal, and I think that it really emphasizes with, for example, you taking us to Miami or you taking us to these very luxury places, because once you hit that Lifestone event or maybe that chapter in your life, that becomes your normal now. A great example is like this high rise, right? Ever since you get into that high rise or your high rise as well, you don't want to stay and go maybe a level down, right? You always want to go and level up. Maybe I got that penthouse. Maybe I want to get all the penthouse all the way on the next level, you know? Maybe I got this car, but I think I want to go into this next car, right? It's hitting those new normalities in your life. And man, I totally agree. And yeah, Juan, I mean, just to end up the episode, I really wanted to go into this big part too as well. I was yesterday I was at ASU. I'm going to Arizona State University. And one of my teachers said something that I really liked and I wanted to touch with you as well. And that's the level of decisions, right? If you're maybe, how would I say this? Taking decisions on a low level, or maybe not on a low level, but maybe in the places that it's not going to make impact to a lot of people, you're going to be compensated by that way. A great example, right? When I was maybe a server assistant, when I was a chef, the decisions that I'm making is only influencing maybe my clients, my customers, right? But if I'm maybe now a team leader, a great example as you, right? Now you have agents that are affecting way more people and you're getting compensated by that, right? So the level of decisions that you're taking, which are low impact and high impact, what do you think about that? Do you think that maybe each time that you're scaling, the decisions that you're taking are impacting more people, people should get compensated by that? Or what's your take on low decisions that maybe take not that much impact compared to high decisions, right?
Yeah, so I heard one day Tony Robbins said, he basically was saying that one of the biggest traits that the human has, and you know, when he was talking about that in a conference, I was expecting something like, well, one of the biggest traits that a human can have, it could be, you know, you're good at speaking with people, you're good at sales, or you're good at, you know, taking care of people. But he said something that really honestly impacted me because I reflect on that. And he basically said one of the biggest traits that the human being has is making decisions. You know what I mean? That's very deep, because if you think about it, we can have the greatest idea, we can have the you know, an average marriage, we can have children, we can do anything we want. But if we don't have that quality of, you know, that trait of making a decision, you know, the reason why I'm here is because my dad made a decision. You know what I mean? He decided, hey, you know what? This is not going to work for us, so we're going to go to a different country, regardless of the outcome. I trust myself, I trust my family, we're going to get over there, and now I'm here. You know, now you're here. Now we're friends, you know what I mean? So someone back there made a decision, you know what I mean? One of my uncles, he was carrying a box of fruit. He fell out on a dirty river. That is the first person from our family that came to the United States. Wow. Everybody was working, doing that, you know, just carrying fruit, you know, in towns that nobody knew, no electricity, no water, no nothing. You know what I mean? And then when he fell down to the river full of dirt, he came back. He got out crying, and he said, "You know what? I'm never coming back to this again. I'm going to the United States."
Wow.
When he came, everybody started coming, but he was the first one in the entire family.
Wow.
So that, you know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
that crying, that decision making. Like, hey, I'm tired of this. I'm gonna have to make a decision. The moment you quit your job,
Yep.
you're like, hey, I have to make this decision, and regardless of the outcome, I'm gonna burn this boat, this bridge, and I'm never going back again. That's decision making, and both decisions are the ones that are gonna have the most impact, not only on you,
Yep.
but on the people around you. Because think about it, like now your brother is here, now your cousin is here, now you're, potentially the people around you, you're influencing a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people follows you, right?
Yeah.
So that's one. And number two, Jeff Bezos again said something. He said, you know what, at the level that I'm performing right now, because everybody, he was also on a podcast, and
Gotcha.
they asked him, hey, you probably make thousands of decisions. You're talking about the richest person in the world,
Yep.
right? The richest person ever.
Yep.
So you're probably thinking, oh, you're making a bunch of decisions every single day. How can you handle so many decisions, so much stress? And he said something crazy. He said, you know what? I only make 3 powerful decisions a day.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
I don't tell people what to do. I don't go, you know what I mean, start looking at, no. But my job is only to make 3 powerful decisions every single day. And that's how I operate my business now.
That's amazing.
So that was how to tell you, like, the
Yeah.
kind of mentality that the guy has.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the type of decisions he has to make, because, this guy, any move that he makes, is either going to
Influence.
crush him,
Yeah.
or is either going to take him to the moon, which
Yeah.
he's planning to go to the moon.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I think the higher you level up,
Yeah.
the more decisions you're going to have to make, number one.
Yep.
And number two, the more important your decisions are going to have to become.
Yeah.
So you have to be more conscious, because now at that level,
Yeah.
every decision that you make, a lot of people is going to come with you, whether you're heading the right way,
Yep.
or you're heading the wrong way. So you have to be more conscious about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just the more you level up, you're going to have to, make more decisions.
No,
like
no,
that.
no,
Yeah.
100%. And now that you talk about a little bit about that, I think that delegation or delegating, I think comes in a big role, right? I mean, he's only taking 3 big decisions, but at the end of the day, he probably has a whole team right behind him as well that are taking many decisions right behind him that only come up to him when it's very big regards, right? I remember you telling me, hey, Ramiro, I think you hit a wall in a way that I think it's time for you to hire somebody, to hire a virtual assistant. And honestly, for me too, it was a leap of faith, because I've never had maybe an employee or someone behind me or looking and help me with decisions. But ever since I did that, I feel like my business absolutely blew, and it was thanks to you too as well. And that's where decision making comes in place. That's where delegation comes in place. And so, yeah, Juan, man, I really appreciate you here being at the RB Talks, here at the Real Business Talks, man.
Yeah.
Episode number 3. I really appreciate you. This podcast is powered by BMG right here in the back, Brito Media Group. Juan, once again, thank you so much, man.
Of course.
And hope to have you soon again here at the podcast, man.
Let's do it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for the invite.
Take care.
Let's do it. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.